What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to meal prep an entire week's worth of cutting meals with only $50. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so we are back from Walmart, and this is what we were able to pick up. I will throw up a photo of the receipt. We were a smidge over $50, $51.52, because the cheese that I budgeted for was not there, so we ended up having to get a different type of cheese, but nevertheless, you can definitely do this for right around the $50 mark. So this week of cutting meals is going to consist of 5 meals a day for 5 days. So meal number 1, we are going to have an egg white omelet with some low-fat cheese. Meal number 2 is going to be the pre-workout meal. So that's going to be tuna and egg rice, which is honestly so good, as well as 1 banana for the pre-workout meal. Post-workout meal is going to be some oats and protein, so protein oats. Meal number 4, which is probably going to be dinner, is going to be some chicken thighs and egg rice with some veg. And meal number 5 is going to be chicken breasts with egg rice and some veg. So we got a big bag, 2 kilogram bag here of vegetables. So yeah, let's get cooking. So first things first, we're going to want to start by preparing the meat. So here we have 6 chicken thighs. We're using chicken thighs, a little bit of a fattier cut of meat, but that means that it is cheaper. For this whole package, it was $7.92. And then we have 5 chicken breasts here. So we're gonna be using these as 2 of our main protein sources. So we got the oven preheating to 375 degrees. So we're gonna get these hucked on the sheet and then get them cooking in the oven. I think we should be able to do this all in one pan. Hoping so. Perfect. A little tight, but we'll make it work. So you can use whatever kind of like dry seasoning you want to on this. If you want to use some taco seasoning, some Cajun seasoning, anything like that. But just for the sake of today's video and sticking to the budget, we're just going to be using salt and pepper to season the meat. So we got the chicken squared away in the oven at 375 degrees for 30 minutes. So while that is cooking, we are going to start preparing the rice. So as convenient as the little like 1-minute rice packages are, it's gonna be much cheaper to buy just dry bulk rice. So here we got jasmine rice. I think it's a little bit better than basmati rice because it's not as grainy. So for 1 day's worth of meals, we are going to want 150 grams dry weight of rice, and that'll give us about 375 grams cooked weight of rice. 151 grams. Close enough. We're gonna add a cup of water to the rice, stir that up. I'll just get this cooking. So I'm just gonna do the rice in the microwave. If you have like a rice cooker at home or an Instapot, something like that, you can cook the rice in there too. It's super easy, and then you can do it all at once. But just for the purpose of today's video, I'm just going to be cooking what we need for 1 day's worth of the food. So in the meantime, we will start getting ready the breakfast, so the omelet. So for the omelet, we're going to be using 4 egg whites and 1 whole egg. So you could buy cartoned egg whites, but again, those are gonna be a little bit more expensive. So we are just going to be using the whole eggs and just separating them. You know, I've always wanted to be able to just like crack eggs with 1 hand. I don't know if I'll ever get there. But my egg separating skills are not half bad. I may have spoke too soon. So here we go. We got 1 whole egg and 4 egg whites. So we'll just mix that up a little bit. And we'll just go ahead and add salt and pepper to the eggs. Stir that up. And so we're not just having plain eggs and some cheese. We're gonna throw some sliced peppers in there. So we're gonna do about 100 grams of frozen sliced peppers, and we'll just throw those in the pan and kind of get those defrosted and cooked first. So we're just gonna use some non-fat cooking canola oil spray. We'll toss in around 100 grams. Of the peppers. Cover those, let those cook. Take the rice out, give that a look. Just give that a little bit of a stir. And put this back in the microwave for about another 3 minutes. Just kind of move the peppers around. Make sure they're cooking. Should only take a couple minutes in the pan. Okay, while that's going, we are going to get the cheese grated up for the omelet. Kind of same idea as with the rice. You could buy pre-shredded cheese, but again, that's gonna cost you a little bit extra. So we just got a block here, and we're just gonna shred it ourselves. So we're gonna want about 40 grams of cheese. I feel like this will be easier if I just cut a block off. So we're gonna want about 40 grams of the shredded cheese. I'm getting a shoulder pump from shredding this cheese. Okay, there we go, 40 grams. Got our eggs and our 40 grams of cheese. Peppers are looking done. So we're gonna turn the heat down now to low and add our eggs in. Throw the lid back on so that the top cooks. Okay. Meantime, let's check on our rice, see how it's doing. Ooh, it's looking good. Looking nice and fluffy. Add another quick stir, and we will throw this back in for probably the last 3 minutes. Just check on the rice. The rice should be good. Rice is looking nice and fluffy. Give it a quick little taste test. Yep. Okay, that's done. So now, what we're going to do, since we're only doing 2 egg rice meals, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 125 grams of rice and set it aside for one of our meals. Go. Now what we'll do with the remainder of the rice is we're just gonna crack 2 eggs straight into there, because the rice is still so hot that it's just gonna cook the eggs. If you're fussed about there being kind of like a little bit of raw egg in there, then you can just feel free to fry it up in the pan. So our omelet is pretty much now cooked. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the cheese on top of it. Nice cheesy omelet. Lid back on just to let the cheese melt for a minute. and we'll just give it a good stir. Just for the sake of it, so the egg's kind of more cooked, we're just gonna throw that back in the microwave for like 30 seconds. Okay, meal number 1 is done. We have our nice cheesy egg white and pepper omelet. So, we'll start getting ready now the frozen veg for the meal. So, best part about frozen vegetables, they're just super nice, super convenient. Get a big knife here. Go. And then because they're frozen, you don't even need to add any water. So once that's done in the microwave, we'll just throw this in the microwave for about 5 to 7 minutes. So honestly, egg rice is like one of the easiest ways to get some extra protein in, a little bit of extra fats, and plus, who doesn't love like egg fried rice basically? So for our pre-workout meal, we're gonna want 175 grams of this, because we have the weight of the rice and then the weight of the egg as well. 160, 175. Okay, we got that. Then we're gonna want to crack open a can of tuna, drain it, and we're just gonna be using the entire can of tuna. Okay, so just take a can of tuna. Generally people think a can of tuna, they just think it's kind of gross. And I agree, I dieted on canned tuna for 10 weeks last year, and you really get sick of it. But when you do it like this, and you just kind of mix it up with the egg rice, and I'll throw a little bit of veg in there after too, but I know this wasn't included in the budget. A little bit of soy sauce in this makes it taste amazing. I can't get it open. Just use a bit. And this is really what you want in a pre-workout meal, is high carb, high protein, low fat, and this has lots of sodium in it too, which is really good. Sodium is good to have in a pre-workout meal because it really helps with the pumps. So I got that, we'll just add some veg to that when it's done. This rice will be used. Look at that, got a little cup of sticky rice. But this rice we will have with the chicken thigh and some veg, so that one will be later in the day. And then the remainder of the egg rice will be used for meal number 5. Waiting on the chicken for that, and the veg for all these meals. Final meal we have to prepare is the post-workout meal. So, pretty simple post-workout. We got oatmeal and some protein powder. It's not the fanciest thing in the world, but it works. Oats are a really cheap carb source, and pretty tasty actually. Protein oats is can't go wrong with it. So doing quite a bit. We got 100 grams of oats, which it's a lot. It's a lot of oats. It's going to be very filling. And then we're just gonna pour some water over top of this and then throw it in the microwave for about 2.5 minutes. So vegetables are out from the microwave. While the oatmeal's cooking, we'll go ahead and add some veg to these meals. You want about 130-ish grams of vegetables per meal, so a couple tablespoons worth. If you're dieting, you're gonna really wanna fill up on vegetables. So if you have it in your budget to afford more vegetables, I'd suggest having more vegetables. But we got a nice little mixture of vegetables here. Got some color, some corn, some peas, some carrots, some green beans. We got our omelet, we got our pre-workout, we got our post-workout ready. We got dinner, and then meal number 5. I don't know what to call it. Like, you'll have it after dinner. So, late night meal. Oatmeal is done. We got a big old bowl of oats here. So, definitely will keep you filled. We're gonna throw in a scoop of chocolate protein. Stir that all together. Ooh, it's thick. Might need to add a little extra water. This muffin like cake. Depends on how you like your oatmeal. It's gonna depend on how much water you want. I like my oatmeal quite thick, but I mean, when you have 100 grams of oats, it's kind of bound to be thick. And I mean, it's not the most extraordinary post-workout meal, but when you are on a limited budget, you're gonna kind of work with what you got. So oats is the cheapest thing. There we go. So if it were me and you had the extra budget for it, I'd put some frozen berries in that. But I mean, otherwise that's perfectly fine how it is. You got your protein, you got your carbs, you're good to go. Oh, and I almost forgot about the banana with the pre-workout meal. All right, so chicken is done cooking now. Took right around 35 minutes total, 35, 40 minutes for the chicken to cook. Took a little bit longer for the thighs because they got bones in them. So we're gonna go ahead and plate this up now. So the meal with the egg rice, we're going to want to have the chicken breast. The meal without the egg rice, just the regular rice, we're gonna wanna have the chicken thigh with it, just because the chicken thigh has a little bit more fats. And a good size chicken breast, around 120 grams of chicken breast. So these are all the completed meals. These are the thigh meals. We have the cheesy egg white omelet in the morning, your pre-workout meal, tuna and egg rice with some veg and a banana, post-workout meal, some protein oatmeal, chocolate protein oatmeal, the boo, it's really good. I mean, depends on what kind of protein powder you have. Then you have your dinner, which is some jasmine rice, veg, and chicken thigh. And then your final meal of the day, just when you thought you were out of calories, you got some more egg rice, some veg, and some chicken. So I know all the meals are relatively similar, but that's how I like to do it when I'm dieting, just to eat the same thing every day. You get consistent results, and then you're not throwing in different foods that your body's unsure about. So yeah, I will go ahead and run you guys through the meals real quick just to show you guys what the macros are, and then we will wrap this video up. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for this cooking video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you guys haven't already. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this style of video. If you guys liked the budget cutting video, maybe in a few months once I change up my diet and start bulking, I could do another bulking version of this, bulking for $50. So let me know in the comments down below. But with that out of the way, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.